Well, firstly, good morning. Welcome back out onto the golf course here with me, Stuart Moore, the Golf Course Superintendent here at Southport. And just a little follow-up video today on where we're at after a week or so after greens renovations. Greens renovations, I can't stress enough, is a really important time of year. And without investing in those greens and doing the processes and practices which we've talked about in the first series, and of course today in the second, it does compromise what we're trying to achieve out here. And if you haven't had a chance to look at the first video, have a look here. If you like what you've seen today, please subscribe or make a comment, or if you do have any questions in relation to the first series and of course today the second, please use the comments availability as it's there for you. The scarification process, or if you like verticutting, slicing the thatch layer, basically what we've got is a process that we run with the coring that we talked about last week in the first series video. What we're going to look at today is how that process works in conjunction with the coring. Basically we've got a set of knives that run vertically into the surface of the putting green. What we like to do is get into that thatch layer we spoke about last week and simply take some of that material out, that spongy, thick vegetative material that we really don't want in that putting surface. What I brought along today is one blade out of a series of machinery that we use when we're scarifying, verticutting or dethatching the putting surface. How this works is a simple blade. It runs at about 3 to 5 mils in diameter, which you can see across here, and they all have a tungsten tip blade. What that allows us to do is simply get into the green, cut it nice and finely, cut it really cleanly, avoiding any other stress other than what the renovation process is going to do at the time. Now we can adjust the depths of these knives going into the green. We can go down almost to the soil, or we can just tickle that putting surface where we want to pull some of the grass and straighten up some of that lateral growth that we're trying to promote. So if you can imagine this blade running into the surface like so, pulling out material that we don't want in the green. We run that over all the greens prior we do our coring run. In conjunction with the coring and the scarifying, the two work together really well to pull out all that material that we don't really want in the green. If you have a look at some of those piles of stolons we've got around the golf course from renovations last week, you can see how quickly that stuff can accumulate. In addition to the scarifying or the verticutting, when all those processes are completed, we've got a nice clean surface. What we like to do then is add our sand. What the sand does is give ourselves a nice level finish. The sand works its way down into the core holes, into those lines that the scarifier's left, but it also works really nicely in combating some of the thatch buildup. The sand particles move their way down into that profile, help with the microbes, organisms, help break down that thatch in a natural fashion. And that really helps us going forward. We put a little bit of a wetting agent into the sand, just keeps that sand nice and moist while we're trying to get it level after the renovation process. Now the sand selections that we use is a USGA based sand. It's clean, it's salt free. We want particle sizes to be the right size. We want that sand to nestle down into the putting surface as neatly and as free of any foreign objects that we really don't want. What that does is allow us to give a nice level surface. So as the grass is coming back through that sand, the sand provides like a firm base for us to work on. And at the end of the day, after 2 or 3 weeks, the sand starts to disappear, the grass grows through, and we can start actually putting more sand on once we start lowering our cutting heights. You'll see the first cut only 5 to 6 days after greens renovations, where we can start cutting the greens back down to 4 mil, eventually getting back to our height that we use here all year round at 2.8 millimeters in putting height. So again, on behalf of the ground staff and myself, Stuart, the Golf Course Superintendent, thank you for your patience. And if you've got any other questions, everybody knows where I am, down in that maintenance facility here at the golf club. Very approachable and happy to answer any questions you guys have got for the future.